Welcome to my 100-pound weight loss journey. Wrong one, dude. Okay, let's try this one. That's it. Hey, getting a little confused here. Got so many different podcast intros that I hit the wrong one there. But no, this is the 100-pound weight loss journey podcast. And this is Ralph from ralphlindy.com. And I am chronicling, the changes that I've seen in my life over the last year of just trying to lose weight and not really being successful until actually quite recently. And about January of 2022, I decided I was going to try the Carnivore Diet. I had tried keto, I tried Atkins, and those diets, they worked for me in the past, but they didn't really seem to be doing much for me at the age of 60. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just go full-blown carnivore. I heard a lot of good things about it, and just see what happens. And in my case, I'm very happy to report that, my health has improved quite a bit over the last 4 months, going on 5 months now of doing the carnivore diet. And just feeling a whole lot better. And what I thought I would do in this podcast is to just kind of take a look back at where I was physically about a year ago and where I'm at now. Now, a year ago, I really wasn't into measuring myself with the tape measure or stepping on the scale, very frequently, because, that stuff, it just got to the point, it was really depressing me because, I got to the point where I think I topped off at a little bit over 300 pounds. And, I got to a point where I wasn't really gaining much anymore, but I wasn't losing it either. And so I thought, why torture myself by stepping on the scale every day? I just set that thing aside. But the last time I measured myself, I was a little bit over 300 pounds, probably, according to our bathroom scale. And I was about 53 inches around the waist. And today I stepped on a new bathroom scale, a digital scale, that I think is fairly accurate. And I weighed in today at 269 pounds, so I've still got a ways to go. I want to get down. My target weight is 175, so I still got to drop another 100 pounds. So actually, my total weight loss journey is going to be 100 pounds plus once I achieve that goal. But right now my weight is about 269, I think, as of the scale today. And my waist measurement is just a little bit under 49 inches around the waist. So in 1 year's time, I have dropped a good significant number of pounds and a few inches around the waist. And that really only started to happen about 4 months ago when I went on the carnivore diet. And since being on the carnivore diet, my general health, besides the weight, my general health has improved. A year ago, I was trying to challenge myself by walking to the grocery store, and that's about, 2.5 mile trip on foot. Well, any way you do it, but me walking it was about a 2.5 mile trip one way, and then I'd go around the store and do a little bit of shopping, and then walk another 2.5 miles back home. So it would be about a 5-mile journey in total. And when I first tried to do that about a year ago, I mean, I was crippled up. About the first half mile, I felt great. And then the next half mile, I was feeling a little tired. By the time I got to the store, I felt like sitting down, but my leg muscles were just feeling so bad that I knew that if I sat down, I would have significant trouble getting back up again. And, I was hobbling around. On one of my journeys, I dropped by a health store, and I just wanted to see what they had in walking canes. And I found a real nice walking cane on sale, a heavy steel walking cane. And I thought that would be handy because I was getting to the point where walking any significant distance, I was hobbling around so much that a cane would be nice, would be definitely helpful. And then I also noticed that walking to the store, we've got some neighbors that have two vicious-acting hound dogs. They're kind of like Chihuahuas, which means they can't do a whole lot of significant damage to you if they bite you. But, it's just a bloody nuisance trying to chase those little freaks of nature away. And so I thought, okay, the heavy steel cane is going to help me fend off those dogs whenever I get harassed by any dogs. And yeah, that worked really well. Next time that those dogs tried attacking me, I just showed them the cane, and one of them tried biting it and probably about broke a tooth on it. I saw the teeth as they were biting the cane, and I saw, okay, the teeth were in pretty bad shape to begin with. But, that drove the point home that I don't want to mess with that metal cane. And so, yeah, for self-defense reasons, the cane was helpful. And then also for walking purposes, that cane was helpful. And now, today, I can walk a half mile with no cane. No cane, no problem. And today I just finished up a 45-minute workout routine, which, focused on me doing some weightlifting. Also, I built a walking circle in our backyard. So what I would do is I'd walk 3 times around that circle and then lift some weights. And then when I got tired of that, walk 3 more laps around the circle and then stop, do some weights, and just figured out a workout routine like that really I'm finding helpful for building up my upper body and keeping my legs in shape too. But now, a year ago, I would not have been able to have done any of that. My muscles were in pretty bad shape. Lifting a 5-pound weight was a chore. Now I'm up to 15-pound weights. And, I could push myself and walk like 5 miles. But at the end of that journey, after about 2-3 hours, I would be in such bad shape, it would take me a few days to recover from that. And I would definitely be shot for the rest of that day. But now, yeah, I'm lifting weights. I'm walking a pretty good distance every day without the cane, without any trouble, and just feeling a whole lot fitter, a whole lot stronger, and much, much healthier. And of course, one thing that really tickles me, and this is something that my wife is pretty excited about too, is about a year ago I was getting some pretty bad leg problems with cellulitis. And it just got to the point where my lower leg was almost entirely red just all the way around. And now, after being on the carnivore diet for almost 5 months now, that cellulitis is beginning to clear up. And I tried everything on that. I was using castor oil on it to try to clear up that infection. I was using tea tree oil. And then I was using support stockings, compression socks to provide some compression on that to help clear it up. And the compression socks, it kept the infection from spreading any further. But it never really started to clear up until I went carnivore. And now, I'm still using the compression socks. I've got some Tubi grips that I use. And then when I'm not using the Tubi grips, I'll squeeze into some compression socks. And I still do. I keep it clean. I put a little bit of tea tree oil on the infected area in the morning. But that is clearing up. The redness is going away. It's looking a whole heck of a lot better. I'd say it's about 50% cleared from where it used to be. And that's in about 5 months, 4.5 months of doing the carnivore diet. So I'll hear people online saying that there is no evidence that losing weight is actually healthy. And I'll hear people online saying there is no evidence that carnivore diet will help to improve your health. And what I am seeing through my own experiential evidence is quite the opposite. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a clinician. I've spent a lot of time over the last 4 or 5 months listening to people who are doctors and nutritionists and biologists, and been learning from them. But what I see happening to me, just my own personal experience for whatever that's worth, is that my health is begun to improve significantly over the last 4.5 months, and I am feeling better, healthier than I have in quite a long time. And looking at where I am at now, what I am doing now, and what I was doing a year ago, the change is it's like the difference between night and day. A year ago, I was finding it difficult to walk any significant distance, and I would be relying on that cane to even walk down to the mailbox, which is about 1/10 of a mile walk. So not that far. We live out in the country on a rural route, so it's a little bit of walk to the mailbox, but I couldn't even do that without a cane. And as far as work around the house, I had a few chores that I would do every day. But after that, I just felt wasted. And I just didn't think like I could do anything more. And I was sleeping most of the day, not really feeling very energized. And I would think about trying to start like a keto diet again, or a carnivore diet, or some form of a low-carb diet. But I would feel like I just couldn't give up the carbohydrates. My wife would be telling me, okay, you got to cut back on the bread. You got to, cut back on this, that, and the other thing. And I thought, I just can't do that. Now I look at my diet, which is primarily meat, maybe a handful of nuts every other day, and I think I need to cut back on that actually to get serious about just getting all the carbs out of my diet and just really getting serious about full-blown carnivore. But back then, the idea of giving up bread, giving up carbohydrates, giving up sugar in my coffee, it was just something that I didn't think I could do. And I was just so addicted to those things. I didn't want to give it up. But now that I've actually given it up, and I'm seeing the difference in my lower body, my legs, my upper body, muscle strength is coming back. It's just a real world of difference. And now I'm wishing that I had started this like years ago. If I had started this when I was in my 50s, I'd be in pretty good shape right now. But I really didn't get started until I was 60. I'm going to be 61 this October. And, of course, I'm already feeling like I feel right now in better shape at 60 than I was when I was 50. And what I want to do by the end of this year or next year, it's taken me a little longer than I thought to lose the weight, but, after I lose my weight, reach my weight goal of 175 pounds, which would equal about a 120-pound weight loss. Once I get there, I want to be able to feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. And if I get there by the time I'm 61 or 62, to me it doesn't really matter, because as long as I get there, that's the goal. That's the main thing. And yeah, I just want to be able to say, quite honestly, that at the age of 62 or 63, that I actually feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I can't honestly say that yet at the age of 60, but I can definitely say that, yeah, I do feel much better than what I did at the age of 50. And I can still honestly say I can outwork any man twice my age. That's a little joke there. I was saying that a few years ago when I was hired on unloading trucks at Walmart about 10 years ago. And I was the oldest guy on the work crew. And people would look at me and they say, "Are you ready for work, Grandpa?" And I'd say, "Oh, yeah, I can outwork any man twice my age. Test me." And yeah, they got the joke. But yeah, that was a pretty good experience. Lost a lot of weight on that job, throwing a truck every day for 5 days a week and doing most of that work by hand. But then I just quit and got a desk job, started sitting down, using my brain, and let my body go to pot. And of course, that's not a smart thing to do. So I'm trying to reverse the damage done. And so far, I can say that I do believe I am still making progress. And, the next 6 months, just looking forward to being in overall excellent health and just being able to look a whole lot better, feel a whole lot better, and be able to just live a normal life. Or maybe at the age of 62, 63, be able to start living an above normal type of life. And I think that is what this diet has given me. A tool to use to be able to lose a significant amount of weight and rebuild health. And that, to me, is what my experience has been with the carnivore diet. Now, if you want to lose weight, what I recommend doing, don't listen to some random dude on the internet that's telling you to go carnivore or go keto or go vegan. Check it out for yourself. Talk to a qualified doctor. I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. But check with a doctor. And then use your own common sense, of course. But, before making any major dietary or lifestyle changes, especially if you are on medication or under a doctor's care for any other ailments, make sure you run it by your doctor first. And if you don't like the answer you get back, feel free to get a second opinion. Because one thing that I'm finding in doing my research, doctors do not always get it right. There are some significant disagreements in the medical community over which is better. A vegan diet, carnivore diet, somewhere in between, a lot of differing points of view. There is, from what I can see anyway, there is no, quote, scientific consensus on the matter. There are a lot of different opinions, and so what I do is I listen to the doctors that I think make sense to me, and then I follow their advice. And, where doctors have gone over the last 50 years, it's just incredible. I remember as a boy growing up, my doctor would ask a lot of questions from me, from my mother. They want to know, okay, what kind of diet is he eating? What kind of exercise is he getting? And then they look at the blood, look at the other tests, and then they just make their recommendations. God, today I go see a doctor, no questions whatsoever about diet, no questions about exercise. It's like, they'll just look at me, draw blood, offer to put me on a drug, and that's really about it. That's really about it. And anytime I ask my doctor, my old doctor anyway, I don't see the guy anymore, but ask them about exercise and diets, what kind of diet they would recommend. The answer I'd get back would be, well, just eat less and move more. And that's it. That's all they know. And growing up, doctors were actually doctors. They weren't just pill pushers. They asked questions. They knew a little bit about diet, exercise, nutrition, things like that. I don't know what they're teaching in medical school today, but a lot of the doctors that I have in my local community right now, it's like you ask them about nutrition, they don't care. They don't know. There's no difference in their minds between water and coffee and tea. And it's like, okay, where did you guys get your medical knowledge from? But some doctors are starting to learn a little bit more. What we used to know back in the 60s, that diet is important, nutrition is important, exercise is important, and they're starting to do their own research. Maybe they're not getting educated in these areas in medical school like they used to, but they are starting to gain some of that knowledge back via their own studies and via their own self-education. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but anyway, if you are under a doctor's care, don't just write the doctor off, despite my opinions about where medical science has gone over the last 50 years. There are still some good doctors out there, and if you've got a doctor that is interested in your diet, in your exercise routine, and is able to give advice other than eat less, move more, if they actually seem to know what they're talking about and they can offer some good educated recommendations on what you should do, treat that doctor like a pound of gold, because doctors like that are worth their weight in gold. If you just got a doctor that's a pill pusher, a drug pusher, then you may want to if you feel like you're not getting anywhere with your doctor, maybe it's time to get another doctor. Look for somebody that actually has a more holistic view of health, medicine, nutrition, wellness, and things of that nature. But before making any major lifestyle changes, for what it's worth, check with your doctor first, see what your doctor recommends, and if you just get the feeling that your doctor is just giving you canned information or just outright BS, exercise your right to get a second opinion and look for a doctor that really is interested in what you put in your mouth and what exercise routines you put your body through, because those things are important. As a non-doctor, a non-medical person, I found that out through my own personal experience. And depending on where your experience, your life journey takes you, you may begin to pick up on that too, or maybe you've already picked up on that. But check things out and don't do something rash just because you hear something on the internet. Because, most of what we hear on the internet these days, it's not exactly the whole truth. Might be disinformation, so just exercise your own common sense, do your own research, and then do what works for you. What's been working for me the past 5 months might not work for you. For me, Carnivore Diet has been a godsend. Other folks, they may get by very well on like a vegetable diet, vegetarian diet, vegan diet. But, I mean, do your own research, contact the right professionals, and then make your own decisions. So that is it for today. Thank you for dropping by. We are going to post some results in another couple of days on how much weight I've lost over the past week. And until then, take care, and we will be talking to you soon. So, bye-bye. Let's get the right outro music here, too.